Hello everyone, welcome to the class. This is the second session with 10 PYQs from the last 5 years of NE-SLET question paper. We are taking 10 most important questions from the combined 5 years of question paper, and in today's session we are going to discuss 10 more questions because in the previous session we have discussed 10 questions, and in today's session we are going to discuss 10 more which will help you in the coming exam. So this one is the first question, that is 21, but for today's session it is just number 1. So the question is asking participant observation is a part of. So participant observation means in that type of research where you will observe your participants. Okay, so basically it comes from social science research, and it is the qualitative one, qualitative research, and again it is an ethnographic research too. So option number D, both B and C is the correct answer. How it is the correct answer, we will understand it from the explanation slide. But for now, you need to understand that participant observation is observing your participants to get the research data. Okay, yeah. So correct answer is ethnographic research and qualitative research. You need to remember that. Now, so participant observation is a qualitative research method, and it is commonly used in ethnographic studies and where you observe the social behavior of people. So does both qualitative research and ethnographic research comes in basically in social science researches. So you need to keep that in mind, that in social science research fields there are participant observation method is used. Okay, now moving to the next question. We have a DI table. It is also a PYQ. So quickly understand this DI table, data interpretation table. So it is given the number of students passed in annual examination of a certain secondary school are given below. So these are the classes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and boys and girls. Okay. So quickly checking the first question. Okay, I have added the explanation part with this question also so that it would be easier for you to understand. See, whenever you find a particular DI table, you just try to understand the table first, okay, um, based on the given questions. So, first question for this particular table is asking that in which class the difference between the result of boys and girls are maximum. Okay, it means to find the difference here. The question is asking difference, so to find the difference, what you need to do, you need to minus the uh, particular one from the another one. Okay, so quickly checking the table. Here you can already see if you minus this, you will get 20 or something like that. You will do for the whole table. But here what we can do after getting the minus results, like these are boys and these are girls. Okay. So from this 80 boys, we will minus this 60 girls. We have got the result. Again, for the next row, we have got the results. So this way, we have got the results very quickly. Now the question is asking that difference between boys and girls is maximum. It means which one is the larger. So from this portion, we need to check the most larger one. So here in class 8, you can see boys were 90, girls were 60, and the difference is 30, which is larger than the others. That's why class 8 is the correct answer for this question. It means the DI table is very easy, and the DI used to come very easy, but you just need to have some minutes to calculate or understand the DI table. It means if you are in very rush, you may not feel comfortable to do very easy DIs. So I will suggest that at least 5 to 8 minutes of time you need to have in your hand to go for the DI. Okay, keep 8 minutes of time and you will do it very easily. And after that, you will have some more minutes in your hand. So this is one question from the DI, the table. One more question is there. It is asking in which class is the result of boys less than the average results of girls. So for this question, what we need to do, quickly understand this one from this explanation slide. So yeah, so boys less than average of girls. So find the average of girls first. So you need to get the, for example, this one was the table, boys, then girls. So you need to get the total of it. Okay. So you already know first one was 60, that second class has 70. So this way you have got the total. So here 70 plus 60 plus 70, then again 60, 60, and then 80, then again 60. We have got the total of girls, that is 390. Now you already have found in the table that there were 6 classes. Okay, so as you have got the girls total and 6 classes were there, so we need to find the average of girls. So what you need to do, uses, sorry, 3, not 360, 390, this one, 390 divided by 6, and you will get the average of the girls, that is 65. So average girls result, that is 65. Now you need to check for the boys average, because the question is asking that average of girls, yeah, the result of boys less than the result average result of girls. So we need to find both of them to get the correct answer. Now we need to check that boys column. We need to check that boys column less than 65, because we have got the girls average as 65. Now we need to find the less than one in the table. So quickly going to the table. Yeah, here is the table. So less than 65, where we can find in this boys column. Okay, in this column, because the question has asked the less than that girls average. Okay, so less than 65 is in here only, not in here, not in here, or not in here, but in here. This is 40, less than 65, and the class is 7. So I think we have that class in the option. Yeah, this was the question. The question was asking results of boys less than the average results of girls, and this is the correct answer, which is very easy. For that, you just first find the average of the girls, and then you need to find that boys column, and from that you need to find the lesser number from that average of girls, and that's the answer. Now going to check the next questions. So here are 3 questions. First one is, in which pair of classes are the results of girls and boys in inverse ratio? So inverse ratio means A is to B. Okay, so you need to find B is to A. That is the inverse one. From that table, you will find it. So that is very easy. So we'll check that. Next question is asking, in which class is the result of girls more than the average results of boys? Okay, this is very similar to the previous question that was asked the boys average more than girls. Now it is asking that girls more than the average of boys. We will do it by that same technique. Okay, so from the explanation slide you can understand this one. For the first one, it is asking that inverse ratio. So to get the inverse ratio, I have already mentioned that A is to B, and if you find the inverse, then it will be B is to A. So you need to go for the table and check, is there anything inverse showing up in that particular rows of boys and girls. Okay, you need to find A is to B and B is to A. So here you can see 80 is to, for example, 70. Same way, this is 70 is to 80. Like A is to B, B is to A. The rest is not matching. 80, 60. Here you can find, here you can never find 60 and 80. So you need to find the correct pair for it. So I think we have got the classes, that is class 6 and class 9 for it. Okay, because it is showing the this one. 8 is to 7, for example, and 7 is to 8. For example, A is to B, B is to A. So it means we have got the classes. Those are uh, class 6 and class 9. So quickly checking the option. Is it there in the option? Yes, this is the option. Class 6 and class 9 from that particular table. So option number A. Very easy. Now, next question is saying, in which class the result of girls is more than the average results of boys? very similar question to the previous one. So quickly understand this one from that particular table. So which one is asking in that particular question, you need to find that average. Okay, so as in here you need to find girls more than the average of boys. So first you need to find the average of boys, so find the total of boys. So in that particular column of having numbers of boys, you just plus them. Okay, 80 plus 80, then 40, then 90, then 70, then again 70. You have got a total of 430. Now you already have you already know that there are 6 classes. So divide this 430 by 6 and you will get this as an average. Now you need to just sum up this as it is 71.6. So you can sum up it as 72. Now, as you have got this as boys average, now what you need to find? You need to find girls more than this average. So in that particular table, you need to find the girls column, which is more than this 72. Okay, let's quickly check that one. Girls in a particular class having more than 72 number. Okay, so here more than 72 we need to find in this girls column. So this is not more than 72, not more than 72. No, no. This one is more than 72. It is 80. So class 9 will be the correct answer for that question. We can see if the option is in there or not. So this was the question, in which class results of girls is more than the average results of boys, and the correct answer is class 9, which we have already found, and this is the correct answer. Now question number 26 or 6 number of question for this today's session, and from the DI table maybe it's 4 number of question. So it is asking, in which classes are the total number of students pass identical? It means there are some students in that in those rows or columns, those are identical. Okay, it means the numbers are same for that. So quickly understand this one. We need to find the same identical totals. Okay, so for that here you can find total of 150 for class this one 6, 8 and 9. How we need to see? Here I have added tips. Add manually and circle the repeated answers. Okay, so quickly taking the calculations. Okay, so from here we have this one plus this one, then you mark the answers here. Again this one plus this one, mark the answers here. Whenever you find repetitive answers, you go for the like circle of that particular answer. Okay, so we need to check the options before that. As the options have 3 classes, already I have mentioned that this particular class, this particular and this particular class has same total. For example, 80 plus 70, you get 150. Then this one 90, 60, same 150. Then 70, 80, which is identical also. So you get 150. So that's the correct answer for this question. So from this DI table, of course, it is a PYQ. So you already know that the PYQs are easy, but you just need to give 1 or 2 minutes extra to understand the whole table. After that, all the questions will be super easy. But in this slide, it is kind of difficult to move this slide to the table and then again move it towards the answer. But in exam, you will find it in the paper. So just circle it, okay? Whichever similar answers you will find, just circle it, then it will be more easy for you. Now we can move to the next one. So this question number 7 for today's session, it is asking, in a classroom, a communicator's trust level is determined by. Okay, quickly checking the options. Okay, so the first option is saying the use of hyperbole. It is hyperbole is like kind of exaggerating things. It means something is there and someone is exaggerating that, like explaining it with so much other additions, like exaggerating the fact of, for example, it is 1 and I am saying it like it is so much big or something like that. So that is it's showing. So trust level, if you exaggerate something, that never comes under that trust circle. So this is not a correct answer because it is asking the communicator's trust, okay, in a classroom environment. So quickly checking the next one. Change of voice level. No. If someone changes his voice, is there will be any effect of that in the trust level? No, never. Now, next option is saying the use of abstract concepts. No, it means if I am saying something in abstract, it will be more difficult to get it. So you may not have that trust. So this is also not a correct one. Eye contact, this is the correct one, and you always need to go for the most logical option. Okay, so in terms of eye contact, every time we go for eye contact, we quickly, this is a human behavior, we try to gain the trust. Okay, so whenever the question asks as a communicator's trust level within a classroom, then this will be the most logical option in here. That will be the eye contact. Okay, so I think I have added an explanation for this one. Yeah, so eye contact in communication theory, trust and credibility are built through eye contact, confidence, body language. These three are very important to gain that trust and credibility in communication. Okay, you need to remember eye contact, confidence, and body language. And eye contact shows confidence, sincerity, and engagement. So you need to be more focused regarding this. Okay, quickly getting towards the next question. So it is asking a teacher wants to promote higher order thinking. Okay, we have discussed this question in our discussion class. So as the question is asking, a teacher wants to promote higher order thinking in classroom. Which activity is most appropriate? So in this particular question, you quickly check the options. Okay. So option number A is um, asking students to define key terms. Okay, not much promising. Okay. Next one is asking students to summarize the chapter. No, no, because it is asking higher order thinking. It means there should have to be some analysis, explanation type of things should have to be there. Okay, so whenever you see higher order thinking, you need to take it for the higher level students. Okay, for example, there may be college level students, so there should have to be some terms regarding analysis or something like that. So option number C is asking students to analyze case studies. Okay, we have got the like core term for this. Okay, higher order thinking always have this analysis type of thing. So here option number C is saying analyze through case studies. So if you study something, a particular, for example, you are studying some particular case and analysis, you are doing analysis of those results, then it basically aligned with higher order thinking. So option number C is the correct one. Let's quickly check the option number D. It is saying asking students to memorize fact. No, it can never be a higher order thinking because memorized fact used to like practice by those preliminary small children, which like they used to memorize fruits names or something like that. So memorized things is actually very basic primary level of thinking. Okay, higher level of thinking always have analysis of data. Okay, so this is very easy. Option number C is the correct one. And you have also uh, in our discussion session we have discussed Bloom's taxonomy. There you can see higher order thinking. So it involves analysis, evaluation, and creation. And case study analysis promotes critical thinking. Yes. So whenever you see higher order thinking, you will go for these two terms like analysis, then critical thinking. So these words will help you to navigate the correct answer. Now, which of the following best represents constructive learning? Okay, very easy. You need to find the correct option for the constructive learning. Okay, so it is saying teacher-centered lecture. No, never. Learning through punishment. No, and reward also, but no. Learner constructs knowledge through experience. Yes, this is the very promising one. Okay, like in today's scenario, we are more focusing on it that learners get their knowledge with experience, their own experiences or experiencing new things. Okay, so option number C is more promising. Let's quickly checking the option number D. It is saying repetition and drill practice. No, not this one, because constructive learning it is saying, not like memorization or something like that, but as the constructive learning should have to be done. So for this term, this knowledge through experience is the most appropriate one. That's why option number C is the correct one, and we have an explanation for it too. It is saying constructivism states that learners' activity build knowledge through interaction and experiences. Okay, so this is very basic. Now, quickly moving to the last question of today's session, and it is a style of journalism, a very important question, by the way. A style of journalism that emphasizes sensational crime stories, gossip columns, and about celebrities and sports stars, extreme political views, and news presented in junk food style is known as. So, the correct answer for this question is option number A, tabloid journalism. In tabloid journalism, it is like gossip type of uh, more sparkle or kind of junk food type of news used to represent. Those news actually, like you can see, gossip or celebrities or sports stars. It means kind of masala type of news used to show in this type of tabloid journalism. All of these options are kind of negative type of journalism. Okay, for example, envelope journalism. You all know there is an envelope. For example, some political leader or someone like that. So he may give some money on that particular envelope to that journalist or something like that. And ATM journalism, it's kind of digital transaction uh, to the journal company to uh, show that that particular person may uh, do some transactions so that his good news always telecast on particular platforms. Okay, so you can understand the example from political leaders or something like that. So that type of negative journalism we can say. So these things are there: tabloid, envelope, and ATM. ATM basically digital transactions towards the journalist to get good image and good news coverage, something like that. Okay, so this was it for this particular session, and I hope you will get benefited from this part of discussion. And we are ending this 10 question session in here. So thank you for joining with us.